Hello and welcome back to the News Project Live on GNAT-TV's Facebook page. I'm Andrew McKeever, the news director at GNAT-TV's News Project. It's a pleasure to have you with us today on Friday, April 8th. Good to be back. Missed you all last week, but we were out on the road there a little bit, going to a conference for GNAT and the American Community Media Northeast Regional Conference. It's very interesting to hear from other folks in the business about what they're doing. But anyway, getting back to what's happening right here. Earlier this week, the town of Weston held its annual town meeting on Tuesday, April 5th. They were one of the communities that opted to wait a little bit longer after the typical date, the first Tuesday in March, when most towns hold their town meetings. So they held theirs last Tuesday. It was in person at the Weston Playhouse. Uh, they elected 3 select board members, or actually re-elected 2, and elected a new select board member off the floor in a floor vote, and also voted to continue a scoping study on pedestrian walkways. Basically, that was a sort of a straw poll or a straw vote or an opinion study, really, of a study that has been going on for a while, and townspeople indicated they would like to see that study continuing. Um, Basically looking at whether or not there would be ways to improve the safety of pedestrian walkways or sidewalks, or do something along those lines through the village. So anyway, the next and I guess last town meeting that will be coming up in our corner of the state will be in Londonderry on April 30th. That's a Saturday. Um, they will be meeting back at the Old Town Hall on Middletown Road in South Londonderry, the traditional site where most of the town meetings have been held in recent years. Last year, of course, many will remember that it was held outdoors at Pingree Park to have an in-person meeting when the whole COVID pandemic was still raging full strength. But this year, all things considered, or hopefully everything going well, they'll be back in the old town hall again. And one of the items on the agenda for that meeting will be an article that will ask town folks what they want to do about whether or not to remove a dam that runs underneath Route 11, right near the intersection of Route 100. It's the Williams Dam. Was built in the 1880s, and according to some state studies, is deteriorating and probably should be either replaced or removed, or something done with it. They At its meeting on March 24th, 3 or 4 weeks ago, the town's select board voted unanimously to recommend to the community that the town pursue removing the Williams Dam, and are also seeking to raise $40,000 for engineering costs for its removal and the removal process. That town meeting in Londonderry will begin, by the way, at 9:30 that morning. Um, on the dam, the state of Vermont inspection in 2015 noted it was in poor condition and was continuing to worsen, and recommended the town do a study of it. And that study has come back. It is available on the town's website if you want to go through it. A couple of different options have been costed out. If the town were to take no action whatsoever, it would still cost about $2,000, I guess, for the existing work that's been done, or maybe some minor work on it. A rehabilitation of the dam would cost between roughly $767,000 to $900,000 is estimated. Replacing the dam would cost over $1.3 million, $1,331,000 to be exact. And removing it would cost about $425,000. So there are some options there for town folks in Londonderry to consider, and I'm sure it'll be an interesting topic of conversation. It's part of that mill pond that, if you're driving through town, heading east, going towards Chester, that mill pond is there to your left. So we will be there at the town meeting and see what happens. Meanwhile, in Manchester, the Manchester Journal is reporting that the town select board has set some dates for upcoming public hearings on proposed zoning changes that would determine where cannabis businesses might operate. Those hearings are going to be held by the select board on May 3rd and May 10th. Uh, as you may recall, cannabis sales were given a thumbs up in Manchester during that town's town meeting back in early March. And the town center, basically Main Street and Depot Street, is the part of town that's being looked at as the area where such businesses would be allowed to locate, as opposed to being able to open shop anywhere around town. Um, of course, it's a complicated subject. The planning commission there has proposed that making indoor cultivation and manufacturing and wholesale and warehousing a conditional use in some of the town's mixed use and office industrial districts, and outdoor cultivation would be limited to the agricultural districts. So that's where that stands. We'll see where that goes, but right now it looks like if there are some entrepreneurs who want to jump into that business, they will be kind of limited to just being in the downtown area. Otherwise, just wanted to point out that the two state representatives from the Bennington 4 district, that includes Manchester, Arlington, Sandgate, and a bit of Sunderland, that would be Representatives Kathleen James and Seth Bongartz. They will be holding a constituent coffee hour tomorrow, Saturday, April 9th, from 9 a.m. to 10:30. Those of you who are interested in kind of hearing the latest update and what they've been working on up in Montpelier and what might be coming along in the near future as the legislative session begins to be closer to its end than its beginning, might want to just tune in. You can get a link from Representative James's website, I believe, or Facebook page. You can tune into that on Zoom. Also, somewhat related to that, the Journal is also reporting that Linda Joy Sullivan, the representative from Dorset, whose district also includes Danby, Mount Tabor, Peru, and Landgrove, maybe seeing a primary challenger. Mike Rice, a young man who is an organic farming advocate, has announced that he's seeking the Democratic nomination for the State House seat currently held by Representative Sullivan. And his core issues include preparing the region and its farmers for climate change and making Vermont an easier and more affordable place to live through access to childcare, healthcare, and medical and family leave. This is according to the Journal's article on that. Representative Sullivan, of course, is now in her third term representing the district. She has said that she has not yet decided on her political future, keeping her options open for the moment. It might be worth noting that she was appointed by the Chittenden Superior Court judge as the receiver of the Coffee Cup Bakery, that business that went into bankruptcy last year, a very large business that closed its operations in Brattleboro about a year ago. So, moving on to the COVID numbers. As of today, the health department is reporting 243 new cases statewide. We have 30 Vermonters in a hospital and 5 of them in the ICU. So far, the death total now, unfortunately, up to 620 Vermonters that we've lost since the start of the pandemic a little over 2 years ago. Moving a little more locally, here in Bennington County, 9 of those 243 new cases are from Bennington County. And we've seen 62 cases in Bennington County over the past 2 weeks. Up in Rutland County, 15 new cases today, 67 over the past 2 weeks. And over in Windham County, 10 new cases and 62 over the past 2 weeks. was kind of interested to see how it compared to the last time we were on the air. And 2 weeks ago, we were reporting case counts of 159 new cases statewide. And what I remember clearly from that was that we were down to 12 folks in the hospital with COVID-related illness, and none in the ICU, which I think was the first time in almost since the beginning that I'd seen that number. Since then, since the last 2 weeks, there have been 5 additional Vermonters who have passed away from COVID-related illnesses. And according to the New York Times, we now have, over the past 2 weeks, there have been an average of 158 cases per day in Vermont, and cases have increased by 14% over the past 2 weeks. As we all know, the BA2 subvariant is now in our area and probably accounting for, well, if not the majority, then many of the new cases that are being reported currently. So might not be a good idea to throw those face masks away just yet, unfortunately. We're all looking forward to a time when going out and doing stuff in public and in crowds of people will be just like it used to be, but we may not be there just yet. So, but it's getting better. All right, well, we'll leave it there for today. Thank you again for being with us. I hope you found our program interesting, and well, we'll see you again hopefully next week. We have a couple of interesting shows coming up. Discussion programs will be taping this coming week that you might want to tune in for. One I'm looking forward to is a discussion we're going to be having Monday about how to attract younger residents into public offices like select board or planning board. We're going to be talking with a couple of younger residents who have thrown their hats in the ring in last March, and kind of just hear from them about, why is it that it's just hard to take on that public responsibility while coping with everything else that life has to offer. So we'll hope you tune in for that. Well, see you again the next time. For the GNAT-TV News Project, I'm Andrew McKeever, and have a great weekend, everybody. Thank you very much for being with us.